Up the Yamhill County Budget Committee to the public budget portion. And
Public hearing.
Public hearing. And I will turn this over to Ken.
All right, so this year it's because of COVID, the current pandemic, a little bit of a major change with how we're conducting the public hearing this year. So as part of the notices that went out, we said again, we're live streaming the meetings and we're live streaming this video streaming this current hearing. As part of the noticing requirements, anyone wishing to submit public comment on the budget or any requests for 2021 for that budget needed to submit those in writing. And so I'm just going to quickly go through the requests that we have in the budget committee. If you go, there's a section called deliberation and discussion, but this is where Carrie has put the requests. And so I'm just going to, if it's okay with the committee, I'm just going to quickly highlight what we've received and an amount requested if it's a funding request. If there's other comments received on the budget, which we said anything leading up to the opening of the hearing. So at this point, I'm not, going to reference any comments that come in. I'm getting text, but I'm kind of monitoring because we may have a couple of requests on the way that Carrie's going to bring over that we received prior to the 5:30 deadline before the hearing was opening. So in the interests of keeping us moving forward, I'll go ahead and start looking at some of these. And so we can acknowledge and note that they've been added as part of the record. The first one is CASA, court-appointed special advocate. They submitted a refunding request. And this is one that we already have built into the budget. We've been doing annual contributions, and it looks like this is a request again to maintain the amount at $6,000 for the year. So that'll be on the deliberation list for Wednesday. Make sure.
For some reason, I was thinking we were giving them 10. Is this an addition?
Yeah, they're requested 10,000. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped ahead.
For CASA?
No.
For court-appointed special advocates?
I don't remember what.
CASA has historically gotten 4,000. They're asking
okay.
for an additional 2,000 for a total of 6,000.
That's what it was.
So it's 4,000 last year.
It was 6,000 last year. They've gotten 4,000. It's kind of confusing. I think they're again wanting to continue with the $6,000 contribution.
Okay.
Yeah. So the next one that we have for the record is from Homeward Bound Pets. And they are requesting $10,000 to assist with medical and veterinary expenses for the shelter.
Ken, do you have any information on how often the sheriff's office is accessing Angel Fund?
That would be a good question for tomorrow when the sheriff presents the dog control budget.
Okay.
I don't have that information off the top of my head, but you will have a presentation on dog control tomorrow.
Okay, thanks.
And just for reference, last year, did we give Homeward Bound money?
I'd have to go and look at the last year's deliberation list. I don't have that in front of me.
I believe that we did give them one of their requests, but then the other one, we folded it. We wanted to fold it into the contract for clerical services, but can you?
And the spay neuter was the piece that we funded, I believe, but the Angel Fund was what they were going to come back and ask us for.
Right.
And I don't think we funded that, but I was wondering how much of it we're using up.
And this might be something like if you have specific questions on that, I want to be careful when we don't start deliberating. that.
Okay.
Yes, right.
But the other, ask questions, ask away, but this would also be a good one to kind of note questions that maybe some of these, it might be appropriate for the sheriff to answer if it's
Okay.
specific to the dog control budget and how, and what's funded for homeward bound pets. And then if you have questions like this, if you want to let me know, and then I can be ready to, I can do some information research for when we go into deliberations on Wednesday to provide that additional information.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that was homeward bound pets on their request. Just want to make sure there wasn't a second one. The next one is from Juliet's house. The Child Abuse Intervention Center, and they have a request for operational support for $22,120. Okay, the next one is submitted to written, is for the mission, the Yamhill County Gospel Rescue Mission for the next year. And you will see that Carrie Kay had submitted some other supplemental information to add to the memo, and I believe Carrie put it on your binders for the additional information. They're asking for $150,000 to support the phase. I believe this is the phase 3, which is the women and children's facility at the mission. Okay, the next one is from Pauline Metoxen. And this is
This is the puppy pictures.
yeah.
Oh, were you holding them up? I want to see the puppies.
Want to see them?
I guess I could.
And this is a request for $58,000 into 2 fully trained canines to be utilized by law enforcement agencies within Yamhill County. I have one on my list that I feel like I missed or it didn't.
The family place.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Family Place was the third one in that deck, in the stack we got.
Okay, so the next one we'll do is the family place. Application for funding, a request for $100,000 to expand a program in Newburgh for the coming year. And then your community mediation. Is a $15,000 request. We currently have it built into the budget in 1039. I believe it's funded at $12,000. But I'll verify that. I want to make sure if it's currently, well, we funded this year at 12,000, our request is 15,000 for this year. The next one I have, and this was an email from Dave Hagenberg. And this went to Commissioner Olson, but it was asked for, and this was something that we said we'd bring to the budget committee. This is an increase, the county's commitment from 40,000 to 50,000 for the bypass lobby budget. So this is asking for a $10,000 increase to the lobbying budget. And this is for phase 2 of the bypass.
Get those numbers again.
Yeah, it's a $10,000 increase, so it's moving it from 40,000 to 50,000 for the county share.
Thank you.
It says here, I don't understand this. I'm also seeking other additional funding to increase the 2021 budget to 130 plus range.
Yeah, what that is he's gone to the city of McMinnville, city of Newburgh, Confederated Tribes, and the city of Denby, based on what we've always given in the past,
Right.
taking a percentage and asking those partners for the same increase, which would bring it to the 130,000 plus mark.
But we
Okay.
would fund the majority.
Yeah.
50,000 of either 118 or 50,000 of 130, depending upon.
I'm just saying the increase. If
Oh,
the increase is
yeah.
to 130 plus,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, exactly. The increase, would be the majority of the
Yeah.
increase. Yeah.
And I think that's because
You're right.
when we first got into the lobbying agreement, we paid that out as the county, the largest area, we paid, that's what we paid, so we do pay a larger share now. And then we paid the smallest share.
Here's, oh, is it just that one?
and is that a single lobbyist? Does anybody know?
No, it's actually
Summit,
Summit Communications. We have one that works at the state, one that works at the federal
Thank
government level, one that works at the state level, and then we have the overhead that goes with supporting those two. So it's actually two.
Which was really confusing to me because I didn't know about the federal one until recently.
Yeah, Michelle is the federal one.
Thank you, Gary.
And that's where she's probably the smallest.
So the last one that was submitted is, we just received this afternoon, is Fifth Corner Academy Therapeutic Charter School Project. It appears that it is a request. This looks pretty lengthy, so I haven't had a chance. It looks like it's a request for 50,000.
Does anybody know if the charter school already exists?
It does. It's got a current address and the proposed new address.
I don't think it exists yet.
it's a project. I
Yeah.
don't think it's,
Yeah.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
happening. I mean, it exists,
Yeah,
yeah.
they have, on the same page, they have, they're actually, mailing address, physical address, and then they have home service address, it's 585 West Third Street, Lafayette. And then their mailing address is Lafayette Second Street. So,
And they're asking for startup expenses.
Well, a charter school has to be sponsored by a school district, so that's what I'm wondering. Who is their sponsor?
Willamette ESD. It looks like, well, you have a board member who's on Willamette ESD.
They're preparing to submit their charter school application to the McMinnville School District on the 11th.
Okay.
I just found it
And the-
Oh, it's on page
First
3,
part?
right? Yeah,
in page 3.
page 3 under supplemental information.
So
Mhm.
this is what we received for written requests, and comment, and I'm not seeing, we didn't receive any other general comments about the budget. So everything that I just went over has been presented, is in front of you, will be added to the binder, it will be included with the record that the request came in as part of the public process, so, at this point, that's all we've received, so the chair is welcome to close the hearing. If there's no other,
Any other discussion for tonight?
I have things to read.
All right, yes.
Yes.
All right,
And
well,
I want to
let's-
thank everybody who submitted information. That's for me, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
It's a really different format. You know, as you know, there's often a big crowd of people.
Uncertain.
Yeah. And so I'm glad to see all the materials, and I'm gonna read all of them.
and just a reminder that this is one hearing as part of our local procedures. The Board of Commissioners also does a public hearing just prior to adoption in June. So that'll be another opportunity for any citizens out there to, if they wish to submit comments as part of the budget, there will be prior to adoption, another public hearing. And maybe at that point, we'll actually, you know, it'll be in a format if people want to come and give comments on the budget, they can do so. That's-
Okay.
So,
Hopefully.
other than that, it's, if you want to,
All right, let's adjourn for the night.
Okay.
We'll resume tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's a record.
We can leave all our stuff here.
It's actually still